Hello everyone, and welcome back. I just thought I'd do a fun video on the man behind the curtain, right? Who is this guy that keeps making these videos? So this, just thought I'd have a little fun with that. That's a little better. This is actually a picture of me at my ham radio station when I was a novice at WN2KCG, like 1972, I believe, somewhere in that region. And I actually took and developed this picture myself too, as a matter of fact. I still have it. This is some pretty old gear. Some of you probably have nostalgic type of feelings for gear back in the day. So I don't know if you can recognize any of it. I think this was a Helicopters S30AE. This is the old Viking VFO. It's tied to this Viking 1 transmitter, which actually has a really huge tube in it, a 3D32. I don't know if any of you guys remember those, but they were big. And this is my receiver I use. It was an NC300, I believe, and an old vacuum tube voltmeter. This is a little 2-meter preamp, I believe. It's amazing I even remember any of this. You believe I had that long hair? That's amazing, isn't it? This was a reel-to-reel, and this is reel-to-reel. I actually took this reel-to-reel and recorded at 13 words a minute, some code out of a book, and then played it to my friend who was a blind ham rather. He gave me my novice exam back in like 72 and 71 probably actually, and his call is W2DRB. Anyway, he's always on CW a lot. So I recorded this at, what is it? I think the slowest speed is 1 in 7/8, I believe. And at 13 words a minute, I called him up on the phone and played it to him at 7.5. So that thing was a ripping. It sounded like teletype. And he was telling me what it was saying. I was just so phenomenalized that he could do that. So that was pretty cool. I thought I'd share that. He's passed away since he died at 99 years old, blind and diabetic. He hung in there for a long time. Anyway, and this thing right here, this is a 807s. There's 4 of them, and a little tuned circuit oscillator. It was actually did a CB thing. I was trying to make a more powerful transmitter on CB just to see if I could do it. I wasn't like going to use it all the time, but I wanted to see if I could. And I could only get like 5 watts or so out of it, and I couldn't figure out why. And then when I went to tech school in the Air Force and we got into tubes and biasing, the old light bulb went on in my head, and like, that's why it wasn't working, because there wasn't any proper biasing on it. So anyway, that was fun. Thought I'd share that with you guys. This one is me in Oklahoma. Now I'm in the Air Force, and it's like 1974, I believe. 74 to 75, because 75 I went to Turkey. So we still had the Viking transmitter and VFO. I don't know where I got the little receiver. I think I got that in Mississippi. The reel's still there. And I got a Radio Shack. I'm pretty sure that was a Radio Shack one. DMM and a signal generator. That might have been a CB I was modifying. I'm not sure. And one of these, I believe it was that one, was a keyer made out of like 7404s or something, on a breadboard. It worked. I was pretty surprised myself, actually. That's a lot of wiring to do. And then another one of these was a preamp. Not preamp, a pre-selector, I guess. So when you tie the receiver and the transmitter together, you could use the electronic TR switch kind of thing with the vacuum tubes. This is an old ARC 5, I believe, that I used for a receiver. I traded the NC. No, I think at that point I had an SX 101 and traded it to a guy for this. It was fine. And this is an old Apache. I believe that's right, Heathkit Apache transmitter with some 6146s in it. Anyway, don't want to ramble too long here, so that's that. This is me in the Air Force at McConnell Air Force Base. This thing right here is up on top of that is a 30-foot parabolic dish. We went to McConnell and put up 2 of those and set up the vans and everything and established a tropospheric scatter link back to Tinker Air Force Base. So that was kind of fun. Why, I was so skinny then. What happened, right? And then I ended up being this big heavy guy here. So, All right, so this is my current ham station, plus or minus. I have another Swan. That's a Swan 500C. I moved the computer down here, and I have a Swan 500. No, that's a 500C. I have a Swan 500CX up here, and this is an icon behind the studio mic. So an icon 736. I have a mixer, my keyer, my Ameritron amp. It's the 811H. TR switch, and this is my PAL Star tuner. Love that thing. Um, so ICOM 730. I now have an ICOM 725 sitting above that. This is a 2-meter rig. Power supply, and this is my FT897 Delta. And this is tied to, no, I take that back. It's not. This is separate. So this is an SWR meter. Up here, it's a very old one. I forget the company now. And then this one here is actually an audible one. When you press a button, it'll actually give you Morse code on what the match is. Like it was made for hams that are blind. And my power supply here. So that's pretty much it. And you go this direction, and you start to head towards the electronics workbench kind of thing. So we'll go from that to, this is the house that Jack built. No, I'm just kidding. So it's where I grew up. And just before I moved here, I had them put the roof on it. I thought I had a photo of what it looked like when I first started. And this is what it looked like. Not quite before I started. This is like one paint job before. They put one coat of yellow over it, and that's what I had to start. Well, it's a light yellow. Almost looks white. That's what I had to start with. Okay, and from that, I had the roof put on, which then gave me this, and you can see the yellow here. It was only one coat, so the blue was bleeding through. It was kind of annoying. Then went from that to this, where we're painting it, and the roof's already on, and it's kind of getting there. It was a long job. Plus, I painted about the cement blocks on the basement. That was quite an adventure. And then, same picture. Let's do it again. And this is the back side of it now. And this is my satellite antenna system up here. I don't know if you can tell, but that's that rotor will do azimuth and elevation. And it's tied to my computer so it can track the satellites. And then I have a vertical here. And this right here, if you can see, it's brown wire. This is actually window line. It's such a bad habit of mine. Window line, and it goes out to a wire antenna. In fact, you might be able to see the wire right here. Whoops, I'm sorry, the wire kind of goes along here. It's hard to see it. So anyway, it's slowly but surely getting there. All right, and this picture, this is back like early 2000, I believe. When I was working at the Eastern Air Defense Sector, which back then I guess was Northeast Air Defense Sector. Anyway, I was receiving a Air Force Commendation Medal for all my work on their network. It needed a lot of work, actually. So that's what that was for. And then this last picture, I thought I would share. Let's move that up in here where you can see it better. That's me and my bike. It's actually an older shot of the bike. I have what's called a Memphis shade windshield on it now. So it's actually has at the base of the windshield where it's down in this area where the handlebars are, it's got a blue tint that actually matches the bike. So it's really cool. And it's a new seat too. That's not the stock seat. That's a Mustang seat. Unfortunately, I may have to sell it, which is sad. And that's at my other house, by the way. That's not at this house. So there you have that.